and were found in the morning, burnt to ash.
I mean, we already know that Harrenhal is scary as fuck, but this is making it sound way worse. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome in, welcome back. I'm Drew.
And I'm Pavel.
And if you're new to the channel here, we're doing reactions. We're doing Game of Thrones, and this is a lore episode. We are doing a reaction to the lore video for Season 2. We've done Season 1, and we didn't capture it. So maybe that would be something fun to do after the show's done, to go back into the lore of Season 1. We'll think about that. But yeah, hi, hello. We hope you're well. Thanks for checking us out. We do appreciate it. I don't really know what to say. The Season 1 lore video was super fun.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It really answered a lot of questions that we had that we were like, oh, we probably should watch these, you know, either before or after, but just watch them. There's a lot of things that get answered. Sure,
there's a lot of things that, and again, it wasn't super spoilery or anything like that, no. But again, like, if you hadn't seen, like, for example, we're going to do Season 2, so people from Season 2 that weren't in Season 1 will probably talk, and we wouldn't have known who they were,
right,
without, you know, watching the season, obviously. So it doesn't really, again, it doesn't spoil it, but it kind of tells you, I don't know, I just like going into the episodes blind. I feel like watching this after the fact will only enrich what we have already seen.
That's true.
So, yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna dive on into it. And here we go. I'm expecting it to be just as entertaining as the first one. The Greyjoy Rebellion by Theon Greyjoy.
6 years after Robert Baratheon won his crown, my father, Balon Greyjoy, sought to restore our ancient rights. He declared the Iron Islands independent and himself its king, and sent the Iron Fleet in a daring raid on Lannisport, where they burned the Lannister ships at anchor. My eldest brother Roderick led a frontal assault on Seaguard. After ferocious fighting beneath the city walls, he was slain by Lord Jason Mallister. By this time, Stannis Baratheon had brought Robert's fleet around Westeros. Robert's victory was now all but assured. Stannis Baratheon captured Great Wick, the largest of the Iron Islands, and Ser Barristan Selmy himself subdued Old Wick.
Oh, Barry!
Robert and Lord Eddard Stark led the main assault against the island of Pike. When they breached the walls, the first through was Thoros of Myr with his ridiculous flaming sword.
Oh.
I was now my father's only living son, and heir to the Iron Islands.
Oh, well, that makes everything kind of terrible.
As my father said to me then, no man has ever died from bending his knee.
That doesn't sound like something his father would say.
No, not knowing him how he is.
His last son and heir shipped off to Winterfell as an honoured guest.
Oh.
Honoured guest.
And if my father rebelled again, Lord Eddard Stark would take his sword and cut off my head.
Oh, those like the conditions? Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Right.
Harrenhal by Catelyn Stark.
A castle that could garrison 1 million men, 5 towers he ordered. A monstrosity, which he forced our people to build for their own subjugation. Aegon Targaryen and his sisters arrived in the south. Harren laughed and shut the gates. Harrenhal would have its first test, and an easy one at that.
But they had dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Harrenhal could have withstood an assault from all the armies in Westeros combined. But Harren learned that the tallest and thickest walls meant little to dragons.
Exactly.
Dragons fly. With Harren and his sons dead, Harrenhal quickly surrendered to Aegon.
It almost seems unfair in a way.
But Harrenhal seemed such a magnificent prize that Aegon gave it to one of his commanders, whose line then withered to extinction. As would every family to hold it thereafter.
It's cursed.
Oh yeah, it's cursed.
When many speak of Harrenhal, their voices drop to whispers about Mad Lady Lothson, who was said to send a giant bat to collect children for her crockpots, and to bathe in blood and serve feasts of human flesh. About the ghosts of Black Harren and his sons who still walk the castle at night, all aflame. Of the servants who went to bed in full health and were found in the morning, burnt to ash.
I mean, we already know that Harrenhal is scary as fuck, but this is making it sound way worse.
Say by a king's grace, Harrenhal became yours. Now you must garrison it. You must repair it and maintain it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. House Greyjoy by Yara and Theon Greyjoy.
Where the north has its honor and the south its chivalry, the Iron Islands has its strength.
We raised our kings from our own ranks, and used beaten foes as thralls to work our mines and farm our land.
Or as salt wives, if a woman was pretty enough.
Of course.
Typical Theon.
That's where he gets it from his family line.
We trace our descent from the Age of Heroes and the legendary Grey King, who took a mermaid to wife and made war upon the Storm God for 1,000 years.
A mermaid?
The Greyjoy sigil is the Kraken. What it grasped once, it will never surrender.
Oh, I don't think I ever knew that about the Kraken. As their sigil, or the reasoning behind it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The Greyjoy Rebellion by Stannis Baratheon.
I've never seen such allegiance as Robert could inspire in war. Enemies who tried to kill him one day would be drinking with him the next under their own fallen banners.
Oh.
Say what you will about him, but Robert was somewhat likable. Stannis, you don't have that. Sorry, brah.
Robert would later boast of the battle's bloodiness and how he could have torn down the island into the waves if Lord Balon hadn't bent the knee. But if I'd have led the assault, Balon's neck would have bent under his sword.
Oh.
Because I do not forget. I do not pardon. His time will come. All their times will come.
Interesting.
The Drowned God by Yara Greyjoy. Yeah, Stannis is... This would have been an introduction to him if we hadn't watched the season first, and be like, oh, dude,
seems like
this
he's got
guy is
quite the
fucked
grudge.
up. He's serious.
Quite the grudge to... and revenge that he really wants to seek.
For the drowned god taught us long ago that what is dead may never die.
Okay.
We do not fear the storm god's winds or his waves. But you should, for they bring us to you.
Plus the ocean and deep water is just scary as hell anyway. Another Greyjoy Rebellion.
Dark wings, dark words.
Dark Wings, Dark Words, that was an episode title.
Was it? I don't remember.
My mother Catelyn was not happy to lose her lord husband to Robert again, but now he had sons and daughters of his own, and, unspoken, another son who wasn't hers from the last time he went to war. My father always told me the Iron Islands were a strange and dangerous place.
And the people there seem strange and dangerous.
My father even volunteered to foster the boy himself, I suspect, to make Theon Greyjoy a different man than his father, who would bring honor and duty to the Iron Islands when he returned as heir.
And I mean, for the most part, he succeeded in
So
that.
my mother's son
Yeah.
He wasn't,
came
I mean,
and my father returned with another
he did
child.
some fucked up shit.
Right.
Theon is my murdered father's ward. I am my murdered father's son. Like my father and Robert, bound in blood, if not by blood, we are brothers.
And that makes all the betrayal worse.
Right.
Wait, was Thoros of Myr's sword always burning because of the Lord of Light? Even back then?
An easy lie to swallow if a people see only the gold and jewels of their rulers, which we, the 13 who govern the city, are careful to ensure.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
A merchant only remains on the 13 until the others are no longer afraid to deny him, or too afraid to deny his replacement.
Oh?
They shall always be welcome on our councils and at affairs of state, provided they never come.
Oh?
The greatest city that ever was or will be? I would prefer the greatest city that is.
Well,
Interesting.
you're dead now, Zaro,
Yeah,
so...
right.
They rarely leave the confines of the House of the Undying, a strange and dark tower.
Yeah?
We can only imagine what the warlocks do inside. They sip shade of the evening, a foul concoction brewed from the nearby trees until their lips turn blue, the better to frighten children and the ignorant.
I mean, yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, they are.
Their magic, like all magic, is dead in the world, though one does hear strange whispers of late.
Yeah, one does.
A Kalasar led by a woman with 3 heads.
Oh, interesting.
Magic ever return? That would be a dangerous day for Karth. I shall need to keep my eyes on them.
I feel like this is giving away so much.
Right.
If we had watched this before the season...
Oh my god, yeah.
Not bad for former shepherds, but the doom fell on them.
The Doom?
After the doom, the city emerged from the shadows to become one of the greatest banking centers in the world. A man can get anything in Bravos, for a price.
Oh.
Lys is the easiest of the free cities, full of pleasure houses catering to every taste. Many men lose themselves in Lys and are never found.
Have we been here yet?
The Lysians may grant him their other speciality on the house. Poison.
Oh.
Oh, poison.
The Magisters make a great show of choosing the Prince of Pentos from the great families, but if a crop should fail or a war be lost, the Magisters will slit the prince's throat and choose another.
Oh. That seems...
Barbaric.
I was gonna say, like...
But no surprise there.
Not very... Like, not efficient?
Better men than I have learned that what a man sells for gold, he can never buy back.
It's making it sound like those places are worse than Westeros, where people are killing each other left and right just for a crown.
Right.
You know, Shay kept saying, like, let's go to Pentos, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's nice and beautiful there.
Doesn't sound like it's nice.
Everyone knew the price of defiance. But there are deeper, older laws. The younger brother bows before the elder. I followed Robert.
Well, that was the right thing to do.
Right.
Wasn't Ares super messed up?
While the Lannisters sacked King's Landing, we ate the rats.
And after all of it, you didn't even get Storm's End.
I was sent to the Royal Island stronghold of Dragonstone to deal with Viserys and Daenerys.
I was sent to go murder children.
Yep.
They escaped across the narrow sea.
They were gone.
Robert was furious. He stripped me of Storm's End and gave it to that prancing fool Renly.
He has been described as prancing.
But the rightful king is coming for them all.
Oh, Stannis.
The Baratheons say, ours is the fury. I will show them. Fury burns.
Yeah, he seems super serious and, like, super scary. And, like, yeah, not that Stannis isn't.
Right.
But also... Wow, it's making him come off very, very, very intense.
Yeah.
Robert's Rebellion.
My father had taken to foster the son of a wartime friend, a minor lord on the Fingers. The boy had arrived at our castle as Peter Baelish.
Yeah.
Due to his home and size, my brother soon named him Littlefinger. Brandon Stark of Winterfell sought and won my hand. I loved him with all the fire of a first passion, as Peter loved me. He challenged Brandon to a duel. I begged Brandon not to kill him. Now, I wish I had let him die.
Oh. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Mrs. Stark.
Prince Rhaegar Targaryen abducted Brandon's sister, Lyanna. Brandon immediately rode for King's Landing to demand justice, which the Mad King Aerys Targaryen gave him, in his own twisted fashion.
Yeah, wasn't it terrible?
I locked myself in a room and refused to eat for days, until my father reminded me of my duty. I was to marry Eddard, Brandon's younger brother.
Sorry that all these terrible things happened and that your betrothed was brutally killed. Marry his brother.
I did my duty. We were married quickly and were spared only one night before he had to return to the field. I scoured the kitchens and washing rooms for any and all gossip. Robert had won. Robert had lost, but Jaime Lannister was now king. Robert had almost won, but the Mad King had become a dragon and burned King's Landing to ash.
All the rumors, too much goss. But also, we know that she used to sit and wait for her father to come back.
Yep.
And now she's sitting waiting for him to come. Like,
But when he came home to me,
just terrible.
he could not meet my eyes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I saw the reason by his side. Yet even these bitter memories are sweet now. They are all I have left of my Ned.
Oh, is that little Sansa?
Our family is broken and scattered.
Your family is a lot more than that now.
Unfortunately.
Months later, Stannis was still holding the castle. Nobody cared. I had seen what famine does. And I thought of all those men in Storm's End.
It's terrible, but no one liked Stannis.
Right.
He's not likable.
He greeted me and accepted my onions with cool courtesy, betraying no emotion.
Okay, so when Davos was saying in this most recent episode in season 3 that he helped Stannis out of like a situation, was this it?
That
was this
was
what he was talking
he
about?
mentioned about the whole in episodes before about bringing the onions.
And after all of that, he still like just calls him Onion Knight all the time. That's why people don't like you, Stanny.
Davos of Flea Bottom had become Sir Davos of House Seaworth, and his son served the king's own blood.
There's that onion.
But for my previous crimes as a I was to have the fingertips of one hand taken off above the highest joint in one fell swoop, or 5.
Or 5.
He lost his 5 fingers.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, but I
I
guess
still
you
keep the
just-
finger bones in a bag around my neck to remind me what I was and what I owed to Stannis. For during my many years as a small
He what?
I visited so many things, but never justice. Until Stannis.
Yeah.
Okay, they have a interesting past.
Right.
The rose would strangle the stag as the lion pounced. But the lion slumbered, and Robert slipped past the king's forces to join Ned Stark.
I love all the sigil talk.
Right.
We could have stormed the walls of the castle and made Robert homeless. If Robert won the war, it would not do for him to find us in his halls with the bodies of his brother Stannis and his sworn men. My father chose the peaceful route and bent the knee to Robert, but we knew that we would never be welcome at court. Every flower, even the rose, needs pruning. Then it grows strong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they didn't show up in King's Landing until after Robert was dead.
Yeah.
Is that how her name is spelled?
But so too does every noble house around us.
A golden rose, like the ones those little girls were like stitching for
yeah.
Olenna.
Our words are growing strong.
Growing strong.
One can only marvel that King Mern did not reconsider when he saw the living dragons against him. Perhaps he should have sought counsel from his trusted stewards before he set out. Then again, perhaps he did.
Oh, he probably did.
We returned to Highgarden to manage the affairs of the Reach, as we had for thousands of years, and will for 1,000 more.
So you think.
Other great houses take lions and wolves.
All it has is rock. Mostly a shiny black stone, too brittle for war and too sharp for building. The Targaryens called it dragon glass. I call it useless.
Oh, Stannis.
But Robert is dead, and I, Stannis Baratheon, am the rightful king of Westeros.
I mean, yeah,
Stannis.
he is. He is the rightful.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
He is the rightful heir.
Let me tell you what makes a knight. Killing.
He does like killing.
Right.
I gutted my first man at 12. Years after, servants started disappearing in our keep, and even a sister I don't remember.
Oh.
But nobody
God.
could prove anything against Gregor. 1 year later, Sir Gregor chivalrously sacked the prince's city, brained the prince's baby, and murdered the prince's wife, winning our family yet more honor from the new king and queen.
Jesus Christ.
Christ, yeah.
My father died. They say in a hunting accident.
Sure.
Even a giant can be made to kneel, but only if he wants.
Oh yeah, they had a giant.
If a man wants a woman, he has to prove he'll give her strong and cunning sons. Now, it's easy. When she tries to slit his throat, he don't let her.
It's that simple, kids.
Right.
I wonder, even if my kind didn't hop over your wall, would he still set your night's watch to guard it?
Not just guarding it from you.
You don't know what fear is. You will.
Oh.
We free folk have our stories too. About how one of your king crows found something cold in the woods, with bright blue eyes, brought her home through your wall, and declared himself Night's King.
What?
With the help of the Starks, we killed the demon and cleansed your precious watch. And then they thanked us and kicked us back across the wall. Our new king knows your tricks. You called him a brother crow once, but you never forgot his wings. We know how you think. We know where you're weak. Watch for us from your wall if you like.
Again, she's making herself and them sound so scary.
Right.
And so powerful and mysterious and just fucking scary. Oh my god. Whew. That flew by.
That was very interesting.
So interesting, so good.
Right.
And the animation's so cool. I love how different people tell the same story in slightly different ways.
Right, yeah, there's like different perspectives
Yeah.
on what actually happened.
Yeah, I don't remember that though. Like, have we ever heard about that story that Egret was just telling us?
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. Again, very cool.
We'll
It's
probably
like,
see more of that.
yeah, I like love the show. Obviously, we are loving the show. At this point, for context, we just finished season 3.
Yep.
We haven't started season 4 yet, but like, it's just again I don't know. Some of my favorite parts about the show are just when people are talking. They don't even have to be talking about anything. It could just be them recalling a tale of times past, and it's just so interesting and so good. And then obviously there's, you know, cunning and conniving and drama and intensity and, you know, action and all that stuff, and that's great. But just sitting and listening to the lore and getting, you know, more information on stuff like that, so good, so interesting. So again, I apologize if the majority of the video is just us like
I was completely enthralled by all the little
super
stories.
enthralled,
I'm just, like,
yeah. I tried every now and then. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're filming." So
exactly.
So, but yeah, no, this was great. I am looking forward to watching the rest of them. We're gonna do season 3 lore before we start season 4.
Yep.
But that will all be out very soon. So I can't wait.
Yep.
So thanks for watching with us. Thanks for everybody suggesting the lore videos. I hope I hope it works out, because again, I just feel like it's a lot of like,
Yeah, I was like,
so,
what? Oh my god.
hope it goes well. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We really do appreciate it. And thank you again for checking out the video. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.